What is up, gamers? I am here with some breaking Yu-Gi-Oh news. We have got some leaked documents here of alternate formats. I'll be putting these up on the screen as I go along so you can read along with me, but I'll just start reading them right now. The first heading here is alternative formats. Sometimes your Yu-Gi-Oh TCG community wants to duel but would like to play with a twist. Up until now, the options have been limited. However, we are excited to announce that we have created some alternative formats for your duelists to enjoy. Alternative format events would be run just like your weekly local tournament. Duelists would pay $5 to receive one OTS pack and enter into the tournament. You still need at least one advanced format constructed tournament each month to maintain your active OTS status, but adding these alternative format events to your tournament offerings allow your duelists even more ways to enjoy the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. To make it easy for you to set up and track these events, we have updated the Konami card game network with new types for each of the formats. So this is just kind of legal stuff, and they're going to give more specification and clarification in the future. But here's first format is Time Wizard. This one is pretty neat. The Time Wizard format is a way for OTS to sanction retro format tournaments. The tournament setting will revolve around the rules and mechanics of the game as they were played during a specific point in time. All that is required when setting up the tournament is the forbidden and limited list being used and the latest legal set. For instance, if Time Wizard traveled back to the US National Championship in 2005, the tournament would be using the April 2005 forbidden and limited list, and the last legal set would be Dark Beginnings 2. This is really cool because we had for a long time GOAT format, which is a fan-made format based on the 2006 limited list. If this goes up to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, that might be cool though, because I think Skull Angel just barely got in around that time period. I know it's not legal in GOATs, but if they do something kind of in between that, I might be able to run that in my Chaos Thunder Dragons, and that'd be really cool. I like this format idea. It's going to be good for Yu-Gi-Oh! Boomers like me. Anyway, next format is Heart of the Underdog. As duelists test their deck building skills, they often find that certain decks are more powerful than the rest. Currently, Drytron and Tri-Brigade decks are quite powerful. For Underdog format events, the OTS store determines the deck types that duelists are not allowed to use for the event, such as Drytron or Tri-Brigade. Duelists then compete using less frequently used decks, allowing for a more casual tournament where duelists can enjoy new and interesting card interactions and explore fun archetypes that don't normally make the cut in competitive events. My comments on this could be good or bad. It really depends on how the store wants to do it. It kind of reminds me of how in Pokemon they have like underused, never used, overused formats. So you could play a Tri-Brigade deck, and if you weren't running the Phoenix Enforcer or whatever engine, or you weren't using Red Eye's Darkness Paladin, or say you weren't packing the Lightning Storms and Triple Talent Tactics, I mean, would that deck really be that powerful? So I'm a little wary of this one. I don't know how that'll turn out. Next format is Common Charity. Common Charity format events, duelists would need to build a deck using only common cards. This applies to all parts of the deck, the main deck, side deck, and extra deck. This is similar to the Castle Party Pegasus Challenge format, but restricts to just common cards instead of allowing duelists to select the rarity of their deck. So that, I don't know how that would work, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of cards have been reprinted to all sorts of rarities and stuff, but I think this could be cool. This is a lot like the Pauper format in Magic the Gathering. This next upcoming format is the one I really want to talk about, Deckmaster. This is based on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime arc, when Noah Kaiba brought Yugi and friends into a virtual world to duel. Each duel allowed the duelists to select a Deckmaster to help them in multiple ways. Duelists begin each match by selecting a monster to serve as Deckmaster. Deckmaster has specific rules, so it says the Deckmaster begins each game outside of the deck. Any effects of the monster apply as if the monsters were face up on the field. Duelists can normal summon the Deckmaster to the field, ignoring any summoning requirements anytime they would be able to normal summon a monster. No tributes are required for high level monsters, no fusion materials are needed for synchros or Xyz and Link monsters. Notice how there's no mention of Pendulum there. If the Deckmaster is destroyed, the duelist loses the game. So I want to talk about this because this is the one that interests me the most. Going back to the Magic the Gathering parallels, this is basically copy and paste of Elder Dragon Highlander, or as it's more commonly known as, Commander. And Commander was a pretty cool format when it was not as big of a thing, not as supported as it currently is, because it kind of killed Magic the Gathering in some ways. And basically, to explain how Commander works in a very brief single sentence. So it's a format where you pick a legendary creature, like let's just say you have this Fire Dragon card and he's red colored. You pick him as your commander card, and the rules when you're building your deck is all your cards have to be the same color as your commander card. I could only play other red cards, and I can only play one of each card that is not a basic land, and my deck, it's 100 cards including my commander. So they made a lot of really good cards specifically for the commander format, and that's fine because people enjoyed them. It was kind of a party game format. The problem is though, they started printing cards specifically for the commander format, but not actually specifically for it because they were legally playable outside of the commander format. That gave you situations where you had cards like Uro, the Titan of Nature's Wrath, and Oko, the Trickster or whatever. In a 99 card deck where this card is not guaranteed to be in your opening hand or even to be one that you would draw, it's not so bad that you only have one copy of these cards. Problem comes when you take this to another format like Standard, Legacy, Modern, etc., where you are legally allowed to run a full set of this card. And now this card that was originally intended to only be used as a single of in a massive deck is now just utterly busted because it's just hyper consistent in a 60 card deck where you can run 4 of it. And I'm already thinking of ways I could break this format. Like I could just play a Floodgate creature, I can make Vanity's Fiend my deck master, or make Baguska the Tired Tape. Any Floodgate type creature would just be insanely stupid because you don't even need to have them summoned. Their effects apply as if they were face up on the field. So if you had some type of Floodgate monster or something that canceled summons or anything like that, you could just lock your opponent out of the game and just steamroll them. So I don't know if they're gonna make a new ban list for this, but I think this will be cool though, because as a Yu-Gi-Oh boomer, this definitely appeals to me. I do like the original season of the anime. I'm not like one of these role player guys that you'll see in like Yu-Gi-Oh Pro who be like, anime decks only, you can only duel me as Kaiba and I have to be Yugi. Not like that. The last format is Rivalry of the Warlords. They don't really say much about this, unfortunately. It just says, we are excited to announce a new program that you will surely want to participate in, Rivalry of the Warlords. This will be a fun and easy way to introduce duelists to themes that they may not have commonly played, and that's all it says, so who even knows what that means. But Deckmaster, Common Charity, and Time Wizard I'm really interested in. I think this might get me playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. Deckmaster sounds really cool. I'm already thinking of stuff to grab out of my collection and build a deck around. I don't know if it's going to be singleton like Commander though, but I feel like that would be the best way to not make it just totally busted. So otherwise, you know, like I said, you could just play a Floodgate card and just screw your opponent over and prevent them from doing anything. But anyway, gamers, that's all we've got to say about this Yu-Gi-Oh news. Hopefully Konami does things right. Catch you gamers later.